Welcome to From Dirt We Grow. Thank you for being here. I am Stephanie Kendall, your host with another episode sure to get you thinking. Before we start, I would surely appreciate some LSB love, the like, subscribe, and bell, and to ensure you don't miss any content. As always, I love to see your comments as this is an open, interactive space. It's free from judgments, criticism, and especially any form or variation of hate. So now that we have established the basics, let's just dig right in. Today we look at the price tag of life. So back in the day, men would go to work, women stayed home, taking care of the children in the house. I'm not saying this is how it should be, don't get me wrong. I'm simply pointing out that a one income household was enough for families to live off of. It was the norm. Daddy went to work. He got paid. He got paid real wages. One job, four kids, food on the table, roof overhead. No problem. But let me tell you, those days are over. BenefitsPro.com tells us 3 in 4 U.S. workers struggle to afford anything beyond basic living expenses. That's including those families that have two adults in the household, both working. I mean, this is or was the land of the free, the land of opportunity, the land of the American dream. How did we get here? Well, I'll tell you what damn sure didn't help. How about the rising cost of housing? It's at a 55% increase in the last couple of years and 41% for essentials, also from benefitspro.com. As a result, paychecks do not stretch as far as they once did, and inflation has risen faster than wages. We're not just talking about the price of eggs. The cost of everything shot up, especially during COVID. And according to Investopedia.com, though the inflation has seen a dip since its peak in 2022, it is still not under control, and it's definitely not going to die. Plus, the pandemic hit so many people financially, so crucially, many of us are still playing catch up. The average citizen works at least 40 hours a week. They're working just, to provide for their family, maintain household expenses, stay on top of debt, ensure the ability to sustain life after retirement, save for those unexpected or goal oriented expenses, and of course, to enjoy some hobbies and activities once in a while. That is a tall order nowadays. As benefitspro.com also tells us, only 6% of people are able to pay essentials comfortably and save for the future. 6%. That means 94% of Americans have to prioritize that list to decide what just won't make the cut. And I mean, obviously, the first thing to go for many of us is the extracurricular enjoyment of life type activities. And it's not just lower income folks struggling. NASDAQ.com reveals over half of those six figure incomes are also living paycheck to paycheck. So not only are we living just to work, we're forced to forego fun. Add to that, it's becoming more and more common for the average person to have two or three jobs because one just ain't enough, meaning less free time. So even if the extra income from the additional job affords you the ability to put hobbies and activities back on your list, you no longer have the free time in your schedule to do them. There's no like work life balance. The kids are neglected of your time. Marriages struggle. Friends and social activities suffer. I assure you, this is not the American dream. Unfortunately, it's likely to only get worse. Much, much worse. With these new tariffs taking effect on imports from Mexico, Canada, and China, look for the price of goods such as cars and trucks, auto parts, cell phones, food, gas, almost everything to drastically increase. This is bad news for the already struggling American people. And of course, bad news for the economy in more ways than one. This petty ego driven decision to place tariffs on certain countries' imports has caused those certain countries to retaliate against us. placing their own tariffs on imports from the US, which means less revenue from our exported goods, creating less jobs, more struggling industries. It's just a political pissing match that leaves the majority of us out to dry. It's a war on the economy, and we're the casualties, as usual. However, just because we're used to it doesn't mean that we have to like it. It's like oh, I'm from Wisconsin, and if I say, "Oh, I hate the cold," and people are like, "Well, you should be used to it by now." Okay, I'm used to it. That doesn't mean I like it. There's a big difference. So, what all this boils down to is pretty much the fact that we need to have real wages keeping up with the cost of inflation. That's all there is to it. It needs to be done. We need to get paid. We need to have, or we keep inflation down. Either way it goes, one or the other. You can't have both. You can't keep wages down and inflation go up. It will not work. It does not work. And with that, I am going to end the show today. I want to thank you so much for listening. Content brought to you today by Stephanie Kendall. That's me. Hit me with the LSB, and I will see you next week.